Hello everyone, welcome back to our game design channel. My name is Premjit and I am the game designer at Battlebug and Moxit is our game design intern. So in our last stream, we did our guns selection pop-up. We have some changes today. So Moxit will explain what we did last time a little bit and he can explain you the new changes.
Hello everyone again. So in the last live we explained that created a weapon selection UI. So this is the starting, this is the initial stage which we created. In the old default state we had so basically 6 weapons, and out of the 6 weapons, after you selected one, you have to click on the lock-in feature. It was taken from the Valorant, so this was the old feature which we had implemented. We had made some changes, but after explaining everything from here, I'll be going on to the new version there. Then in the previous version, the selected state was such that whenever you selected the weapon, there was a green border over the weapon, and also it showed the weapon stat. And again, the lock-in button was red because you had to click on it to then select it. So you had to click on the weapon first and then click on the lock-in feature. So you had to click twice. So this was our old feature. So we have enhanced it to make it easier for the user. And in the locked-in state, in the previous version, we had after clicking on the gun and then locking in, we had a undo feature. So clicking on the gun again would allow the player to click on a different weapon and then click on the lock-in feature again. The reason we changed it was because let's say you want to undo it again and then want to select a gun again, but the time provided is just 10 seconds. So that was the reason. Then again, undo selected weapon. So basically you are clicking on the undo. You might accidentally select a wrong gun which you didn't want, and that might happen. Undo button, and then this lock-in button, it will convert from gray to red. And also whichever gun we selected, only that gun data will be shown. Not if we select 2 weapons, the second weapon's data will be not shown. So, and one of the other feature which we improved was like if we show both the weapons data, it will be easier for the user to compare between them and then select the one which they want. Then back to the default state, as in once you click the undo button, none of the guns are selected, right? So the data is not shown and even the green hover is not shown. But as you can see, the issue is that here only 4 seconds is left right now. So this will be an issue for the player to select a weapon and then lock in again. Then again, reselecting the weapon, as in you have to click on the weapon again and then click on the lock in button again. So it goes back to the first stage, but compared to first stage, the time here provided is less. Then what happens when the timer runs out and you have not locked in any gun? So whichever gun had like the green hover over it will automatically get locked in. Even if none of the weapons had a hover over it, then out of the 6 weapons, a random weapon will be selected and the game will automatically lock it for us. That was the previous feature. And when the match starts, this will be the scene. The player and all the UI elements will be present, and this will be the roach message will be available for like 5 seconds at max.
Okay,
then
before that, like we are making the changes, I want to just give so the problem we are facing was people wanted to undo, right? So for that, we want to have a simple UI where they can compare each guns and take good decisions. For that reason, we are adding some more features on this into this and trying to make it simplify for the user to make easier decisions and like which will be useful for them. So there are no place in our platform right now where we show gun attributes, the gun stats. So this is the first time we're implementing guns. So we want to show some stats for the guns to the players so that they can have the understanding and they can master it to each gun's type. That is why this feature is changed, and you can explain it better now.
Yeah, for the people watching, like even in the old feature, you could argue that like the undo feature was there and even the attribute feature was there, but it wasn't that efficient compared to our new system.
Yes, correct.
So if once I explain the new system, you'll understand.
Yes.
So basically, in the new system, in the default state,
I'm zooming a little bit because the text is not needed, right?
Okay, you can just zoom into the image. I'll just mainly explain from the image.
Cool.
In the new version of the default state, the one difference which you could see is that the lock-in feature is not present here. So by default, only the 6 weapons will be present here, just as before, and the timer will be provided here towards the right below the weapon selection UI. So this is the basic format for the weapon selection. Moving forwards, we have the first tab state. So how are we selecting the weapon here? In the previous state, you had to select the weapon and click on the lock-in feature. But here, once you tap on the gun, any of the guns, it will instantly get selected, as that is the first tap done by the player. And what are the other UI elements which can be seen when the player taps? One of the UI elements is that green border will be seen around the weapon box which the player selected. And also if you zoom in a little, for now the weapon box is slightly bigger compared to the other weapon boxes. We can make it much bigger, but we wanted to keep it subtle. And also the other changes is that you can see a tick mark on top right corner of the weapon box. That just means that the weapon is currently equipped. Then Other changes is that on the right side of the weapon selection of all the guns, you can see the weapon attributes, which was the same as before. But the one change in that is above the weapon attribute, you can see a tag which says equipped. That this is the equipped weapon. Then why is it useful? Why does it say equipped? Because right now that is the equipped weapon, and like even if it doesn't say equipped, the player would know why. In the next state, you'll get to know why it is useful when you're comparing the different weapons. And also one of the other changes is that below the attributes, you can say toast message. The toast message basically says the weapon name is equipped. In this example, the homing gun is the weapon which is equipped, so it will just say homing gun is equipped, and this will just stay for 0.5 seconds so that it's not that distracting, and also it's just a notification message. And moving forward to second tap on the same gun. What does this mean? So you have already selected a weapon, but instead of clicking on a different weapon, you clicked on the same weapon again. So what will happen in that case? In that case, nothing else will change. The only change which we can see is the toast message, and in the toast message, instead of saying homing gun is equipped, it will add the word already. So it will say homing gun is already equipped, so that the player knows, oh okay, I'm tapping on the same weapon, so I might need to tap on a different weapon to test out whether there are other interactions or not. Then moving forward to first tap on a different gun. What does this mean? So you have already selected a gun, and you, instead of clicking on the same gun, you clicked on a different gun after the gun was equipped already. So the weapon you selected, in this case it's the grenade rifle, will have a white border indicating that you selected that weapon, and that weapon's attributes will be shown beside the equipped weapon's attributes, so that the player can compare between the two attributes. Like example here, the range of the grenade rifle is 40, the range of the homing gun is 50. So the player might be like, okay, this has a higher range, so maybe I should choose this. Or maybe he'll look at the damage multipliers and realize that headshot from grenade rifle will do 120, and from this it will be 60. So it is, the choice is given to the player. This is just to compare. And also, as I said before, the equipped weapon attributes, above that there is a tag equipped, right? So the selected weapon, the second selected weapon, above it we'll have the tag comparing, so that the player will know that this is not the selected weapon right now, and this is the weapon which is getting compared, so that he is sure that this is not the one which is locked in. And also the toast message, this time it will say that we have to tap on the grenade rifle again in order to equip it. Here it says grenade rifle because that is the example which we have chosen, but it will be according to the weapon's name, whichever we choose. So this will again stay just for 0.5 seconds. Then what happens if you do a second tap on this selected weapon which had a white border? So what happens is that the white border will vanish, and instead of the white border, the green border will appear, and also the size of this will increase, indicating that this is the equipped weapon. And the previously equipped weapon, green border will vanish, and the tick mark will also come to the newly selected equipped weapon. And as you see the attributes, the comparing tag attribute will completely vanish, and only the equipped tag attributes will be remaining. And this time, instead of homing gun, it's showing the grenade rifle because this is the newly equipped weapon. So that is the change if you double click on a different weapon. And also the toast message will again say that the new weapon name is equipped. So just so the player knows that, okay, I have changed my weapon selection, this is the currently equipped weapon. Compared to the previous version where you have to click on a undo, then click on a new weapon, and then click on lock in. In this version, you can just double tap on a weapon and it will instantly get equipped, so that you don't have to go through all that stages, and also the time will be saved. And also, like, you can compare the attributes, so that is also extremely useful to the player. Then what happens, first tap on a third gun, as in you have already equipped a weapon, and you had previously I had shown that you had tapped on a grenade rifle, and the grenade rifle has a white border. So what will happen if you tap on a different weapon which is not equipped or which is not the first selected? So the white border from the first selected weapon will vanish, and it will come to the newly selected weapon box to indicate that is the selected weapon. And previously we had in the comparing attributes tag, we had grenade rifle attribute, but instead of that, now we have pulse mortar attribute. And the equipped weapon attribute is the same because that is the current equipped weapon. So now the player can compare between the pulse mortar and the homing gun instead of the grenade rifle and the homing gun. So this is one of the features. And also again the toast message will appear saying that tap on the pulse mortar again to select, so that the player will know, okay, in order to switch it I have to tap on it again. If it doesn't want to switch it, it doesn't need to tap on it again, you can just leave it. Then again after the timer ends, the match will start, and whatever in this case the homing gun was the equipped weapon, so here homing gun is shown, and also the toast message will say that match has started, and also whichever mode we have started, that will be shown. just for like 5 seconds at max. So this is our new version, and these are the changes. Main changes were like the comparing attribute tag and the weapon selection method, where there is no undo option, but instead of that, double tap and single tap is available, and also the toast message.
Okay, so we reduce one click on bottom to lock it, so
Yeah.
it will be easier for the player, and instead of that they can click on other guns at the same time and compare them.
Yeah,
This
these
will,
are the new features.
yeah, it will make them, I think, more strategy inside the
Yeah.
gameplay. And also, like, we made some changes, and this is our final one, so we'll just share this video to our developers so that they can start working, I think.
Yeah.
And also you need to update the document with these changes, I think. That's it.
Yeah, I need to make that.
Yeah, one thing I think we need to add this green highlighter on the equipped stat. I think we need to add it to all the pop-ups.
Oh yeah, yesterday during the meet, like we were in a hurry, so I couldn't do it. So I'll complete it out. Yeah, I'll just explain that as well. So one of the other feature is that, as you see, like the equipped weapon here, it has all the data regarding it, but there is a comparing tag as well. So how will we differentiate between the equipped and the comparing attribute? Obviously, you will say that you can see that there is a tag saying that this is equipped and this is comparing. But just to make sure, as the weapon here selected will have a green highlight border around it, the attributes will also have a slight green border around it, as you can see here, and the comparing tag will have white border around it, because the selected weapon will have a white border here. So just to match the similarities, we'll be making that change as well.
So this is just a mock-up. After this, the UI UX team will be working on this, so they can make it more relatable. This is just to inform developers that so that they can start working with the dummy assets. Okay, but this will look
so they get an idea on how everything works.
Yeah. This is all about functionalities, like how the functions will work, the interaction and everything. But once it is done by developer, the UI UX team will make it better and like very good looking.
Yeah.
But this is just the mock-up for now.
For you guys, I just explained everything. For the developers, I have if you can see below these images, I've written it down in text so that they can read and understand it. So they'll be reading this and understanding how everything works, and then they'll be implementing it.
Yeah. So can you just tell everyone our process, what we do for developers, like from research to Figma to document?
So whatever we do, the first initial step is like whatever, like let's say this is the example. I'll take this as an example. So weapon selection UI, right? Like that weapon selection UI. So if we had to do that, our first step would be to make a breakdown of that weapon selection UI from other games, like which is relevant or which is like similar to our idea. We'll be breaking down all the elements of it so that we understand like what's going on in their game, so that we take the elements from their breakdown, put it into our mockup, and create our own elements and create a small mockup. And after we create that mockup, we add the data into the Google document, explaining every single detail with all the images, with all the text.